here in San Antonio. Today we are doing outside art for our Fun Patch activity, for our Fun Patch Friday. So I'll wait maybe another minute for others to go ahead and tune in. And for now, I'll go ahead and say what we're going to be needing today. The ingredients were posted up, but we're going to be using bubbles with bubble solution. We're going to use food coloring with that on our first project. We're also going to have our flour. We're going to need some dish soap, some chalk, a grater, a funnel or anything that has a tip that is easy to pour. We're going to need a tablespoon measurement, a bowl of any kind. We're going to need vinegar, and for our puffy paint chalk, we're going to be using just a squeeze bottle. So if you could have an empty squeeze bottle. And we're also going to need cornstarch and Ziploc bags. So that should be all the materials we'll be needing. We'll also need baking soda for the explosive chalk that we're doing in the end. So I hope everybody's having a good day. Let's see. Do we have a good amount of viewers?
8.
8? All right. So we'll go ahead and start now. We'll start with the simple one. So we're gonna do, it's gonna be colorful bubbles. So with this, all you really need is solution. I know on the ingredients we had posted, you could mix the tempera paint with the bubble solution and kind of use it from there. But this is also another really easy way. If you just take the bubble solution and you just take a few drops of food coloring. So here we'll put in the blue. We'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drops in there. And you're just gonna close it back up. Make sure that's mixed really good. And you could come a little closer. So with this, okay, you want to come a little closer? So with this, you're going to be able to use the bubble wand and blow. And you could do this onto paper. I wouldn't recommend doing it in the air with the food coloring because it is food coloring, so it could get on you or your clothes. So always be sure to blow it on a surface that you know is going to be cleaned, or something that, like the ground or anything that you don't really, it doesn't really matter if it's dirty. So you just blow onto it. And this is a small little wand, so you have to get really close in order to see the colors. And there's actually wind blowing right now, so let's see if this works. So the wind is actually blowing that way. Let's see. So as you can see, the color does come out. It's a little difficult because it is windy, but as you can see, it comes out on my fingers, so be sure to clean your hands right after this. So you see the bubbles blowing. But you want to try to get it on the paper as much as you can. Alright, so this is easier in the indoors. Definitely if you're trying to make bubble art. So when you do this one, try to just mix the solution and use that inside and do it on paper. So that is the bubble art. That one's really simple. You could do it with any food coloring, any color, or you could also use the recipe that's on the ingredients list and use that with the non-tempera paint and kind of see which one's better for you. So that one is our first thing that we're doing. The next thing we're doing is puffy paint chalk. So for this one, we're going to be using chalk, the grater, this funnel, and a bowl. We're also going to need water and a cup of flour. So first we'll start out with a cup of flour. So right here I have my cup measurement, and I'm just going to go ahead and pour that in there. And then we're going to put in our cup of water. We're going to mix that in with just a spoon is fine. So you want to make sure that you mix it to when there's no more clumps in there. Let's see. Alright. And so you want to just keep mixing as much as you can. And then we're gonna go ahead and add in our tablespoon of soap. And then we'll mix that a little more once we've done that. So we have just regular dish detergent. I'm just gonna put 1 tablespoon. Add that in there. And then you're just gonna continue to mix and try to mix out all of the clumps. I know it's a little difficult with the measurements that we have here, but you want it to still continue to be a little thick because that's how the puffy paint gets its texture. So the soap makes it a little easier to mix. All right, so after you have that mixed as well as you can, we're gonna go ahead and take a chalk, and you could do any colors that you'd like. I had done pink before, so I'm gonna go ahead and do a green. So you're just gonna use a grater, and I just place mine on top, or you could put it inside. Either way, you're just gonna grate that, and it should look like little dust. So you wanna get it as small as you can so that it mixes easy. And you're just gonna do this. You could do the whole chalk depending on how you want the color. I only used a half of chalk for the pink puffy paint that I did. So we're gonna go ahead and do half. For those just tuning in, right now we are making our puffy paint chalk. So this right here, we added the water and the flour and 1 tablespoon of dish soap. And right now we're just using a chalk to grade in the color. All right, so that should be enough. So go ahead and mix that. That's a really pretty green, so I think half will be fine for this one. And so just make sure to mix all of the chalk in evenly. So this one will sort of be a light green. So all of these activities are perfect for the outside. I know a lot of us have been indoors lately, so you can feel free to grab these simple ingredients and use these for outside fun. So I think this will be fine. So we'll go ahead and we'll pour this mixture into our sort of pouring tool. And just pour that in there. All right, and then we're gonna use our squeeze bottle and just pour that in there. All right, so that should be fine. And then go ahead and put the top on. And these work really well the first day. You don't want to keep these longer than about a day or so because the mixture does eventually come apart, so it's not together the way that it first is when you make the mixture. But when you do make it, you can definitely see how fun it is. So it's definitely a good thing. Let's see. We could do the pink as well. So here we could write girl. And we could write scouts with the green. So as you can tell, you can use it lightly or you can pour a lot out there. It's really up to you. And like I said, it's better when you don't have too many clumps because sometimes it gets stuck in there. So go ahead and end this off with the pink. So you can make it really thick. And just pour it out there. Oh, okay, so that one just popped. So you want to make sure that you mix it really good, but that's fine because we're actually going to use both of these poster boards to do some fun stuff. So the next thing is the last thing, and this one's going to get a little messy, so this will work just fine. So the last one is explosive chalk. So for this one, I already have two mixtures here, but I am going to make a mixture with y'all. So what you're going to need to do, right here I have a blue, and I also have a yellow. So for this one, what you'll need is the cornstarch. So right here I have a cup of cornstarch. We have a cup of vinegar, so you're going to want to mix those two together first. So go ahead and mix that. Okay, and once we have the cup of vinegar and cup of cornstarch mixed, we're going to make sure it's closed tightly so that we can make sure that those mix well together. So you want to just shake it around. The cornstarch tends to get a little clumpy, so make sure that you kind of, you know, break up those clumps and make sure that it mixes well in here, because we don't want clumps when we're doing the explosive chalk. We want it to come out just as liquid. So we're going to really break up those clumps. Alright, and once you feel that there's not too many clumps left, you can mix it around a little more. And now we're going to go ahead and add our food coloring. So for this one, you could use paint. I like to use food coloring just because I feel the colors are more vibrant and it's just easier to do the drops of food coloring. So you're just going to open it a little bit. Put in, I already used the blue and the yellow, so I'm going to use a green. And you just need about 3 to 5 drops. And then you're going to seal that up. You're going to mix that. As you can tell, they come out really bright and pretty, like a pastel green. Alright, so now that we have these, the last step is going to be to add about 2 tablespoons of the baking soda, because as we all know, the baking soda mixed with the vinegar creates that reaction. And so now I'm going to have Miss Allison and Miss Katie come and join me for the explosive chalk. We're going to move all of this out of the way. Hopefully it doesn't blow away. But for this, we're going to do all 3 bags at the same time so you can see how beautifully it looks. So you can have the green. Have yellow, and if we could just mix that up a little more. Alright, we could go ahead and put this over there. Alright, so it's a little windy today, so hopefully nothing blows away. And so, if you have a little bit, yeah, just kind of break it up. If you've had it sitting for a little bit, you might have the clumps come back. So right before it explodes, you want to make sure that it's all liquid. Just keep mixing that. And now that we have the mixtures, I have the 2 tablespoons measured in here. And so once we all have these, we're going to go ahead and just pour it in at the same time. And once you poured it in, you want to hurry, and you could only use, you know, if you have a small kind of mixture cup. I use these little cups. I think it's perfect to use something small, so that you could only make a little small opening, maybe about that much, and you're just going to pour it in. Once you pour it in, make sure that everything's closed. You want to do a zip really quick and shake it just a few more seconds, and then put it down with the zip facing downward so that when it explodes onto the paper. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So we're going to make a little opening. We're going to pour really quick and then close the bags. So as you can see, it's already bubbling. Oh! And you can put, yeah, close it, put it down. And that is the explosive chalk. So it looks so awesome. Honestly, you could play in it just as Miss Katie is doing. You want to make sure you kind of put some paper down if it's on a surface that you do not want to get wet. This is also good for the sidewalk if you want to use this just to kind of paint on the sidewalk, or if you wanted to use it on paper and kind of make some type of art, and it should dry really beautifully. So it's really up to you. All of these could definitely be used for any type of art that you want to use on paper or on the sidewalk. Just be sure that you have your parents' permission just in case you don't want to leave a mess where there shouldn't be a mess. So always remember that a Girl Scout leaves a place cleaner than when she found it. So be sure to put all the ingredients that you use back to where you found them, and be sure to always clean up any type of mess or any kind of spills that you have here. As you can tell, it's spilled everywhere, so like I said, be sure to do it either outside. Definitely don't want to do this one inside. So thank y'all so much for watching. Be sure to use the link that is in the comments, and that is going to be how you're going to be receiving your fun patches. So on there you will answer the brief survey, and the patches will be sent to the mailing address that you use on that survey. So again, thank you so much for watching, and we hope to see you next Friday. Bye.